Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back into the Star Studio, man. We got a special guest with us today. Please, y'all, welcome in Kijan Simmons, brother. How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to sit with us at Rolling Out today and just talk about the amazing work you're doing. So,
Appreciate
let's
that.
dive right into it, man. Can you take us back to the day you found out you would be on the family business?
Oh man, yeah. That was a crazy experience. I had really applied to be an extra. Just you would probably wouldn't even see my face. I was walking around with a mask on at a party. That was my role. And I got on set, and Carl Weber was like, "I made this role for you." And they took me to a trailer. I said, "I got a trailer?" I said, "Wait, what are we doing here?" Yeah, man. But when I found that out that he handpicked the role for me, he was like, "Yeah, you should be the bodyguard for the family in the new show," and blah blah blah. And then he didn't even wait for me to answer. He just like, "This is your trailer. Here's your food. Don't come out until we tell you it's time." Like I'm like, "All right." You're right.
Why do you feel like he hand selected that role for you? Was it the size, your size? Was it the look, or what do you think exactly?
I don't know. I'm gonna tell you, it was nothing but God, man, because
I like that.
for sure, because nothing I did was right. I didn't have professional headshots. The picture I sent in was a bodyguard photo because that's what I used to do. And so yeah, man, I sent in a bodyguard photo. I ain't have no agent, no manager, no nothing at the time. So yeah, I mean, he took a chance on me. I'm guessing it was the energy. Everybody treated me like family, and yeah, it was a great experience.
So I guess tell me before you made your TV debut, tell me what you was into. I know you said you were doing bodyguard, but I guess what was your like day to day like?
Yeah, so I own a protection company and we bodyguard for celebrities and stuff. And I kind of started that after I got out the military, and that was kind of a natural transition for me. Um, but yeah, day to day, it was long hours, 12-hour shifts, 2 hours commute each way. Yeah, and I always told my people that work with me that I'll never ask you to do something that I won't do. So I'm right there with them. 12-hour shifts, 14 hours, 16 hours. I'm like, here, I'm right here.
So could you maybe take us inside of being a celebrity bodyguard? Like how is that? Like, is it dangerous sometimes, or because we see y'all protecting, get away from them,
Right.
hands, like, we see that part, you know what I mean? But does it ever really get maybe a little trenchy? Like,
I mean, yeah, it depends. So there's like different sectors you can go into, and so like it depends on who you're bodyguarding for. Um, I've been all over the spectrum. I bodyguarded for CEOs of corporate companies, and then I bodyguarded for musicians and actors and stuff like that. So everybody has their own, and it depends on if they like to start stuff or not, because we know how the music industry is. So yeah, um, it can get a little dicey. We've been in a couple of situations. You just got to always be ready for the hectic, but try to stay in the calm at the same time.
one thing I didn't even know you joined the military. When I first met you, I didn't even know that part. I just thought you was kind of in the vein of what you were doing. But I guess, was it a hard transition when you left the military? Because I'm just asking, because I had a couple friends that, like, after getting out, finishing their contract or whatever, they really didn't know what to do. They really didn't know where to go, what the next step in my journey was, and you was able to seamlessly find the next thing. How so?
Well, I won't say seamlessly. Let me be honest. Let me be honest. Because I still find myself sometimes. I got out in 2020, and I still find myself sometimes finding it difficult as far as the transition, because I was in for 8 years, so it was I was conditioned and institutionalized in a way to think a certain way and do things a certain way, and so yeah, it's been a journey. But I think one thing about me is when I want to do something, I kind of just jump right in and do it. So
You'll worry about all that.
yeah, all the other stuff. When I get home and like rest and think about it, then I'll worry about it. But yeah, no, I just jump right in. Let's go.
So, what would you say you've learned from your time acting so far? Especially, really specifically, let's focus on the family business, New Orleans.
Okay.
What have you learned from dealing with your co-stars, being on set?
First of all, amazing cast. I showed up on set and I'm like, y'all want me to act alongside these people? This is crazy. I look up to these people, watch these people on TV all the time. But one thing that I learned is nobody's too big for any role. I saw people, shout out to Brandon T. Jackson, shout out to Leela Roshan, and all the rest of the cast. But I saw people that have been veterans in this game, helping with stuff that other people do. They're doing it as if like it's all a family. They're like, oh yeah, I know I've been in, I made millions and been in this TV show and that TV show and that movie, but yeah, I'll go over here. I'll bring you your food. I'll take out this trash. And I think that was the most humbling thing, because I think people, when they get to a certain level of stardom, yeah, but everybody on set it was very family oriented and everybody helped. And I think the main thing I took away from it was be a sponge and don't talk if you don't know what you're talking about. So
That's true. But like you had said, you were with a bunch of stars on this show, bro. Brandon T. Jackson, Quincy, Benjamin Stevens.
Yep.
But I ain't gonna lie, you with one of my favorite actors, Pooch.
Yeah.
How is it? How is he like in person?
He's amazing, bro. He's amazing. He took me under his wing, really. And he was like, hey, you can do stuff like this, giving me advice on set and stuff. And I'm just like, this is crazy. I literally just watched you like 2 days ago. And now like we exchanging phone numbers and he's checking up on me, I'm checking up on him. And I'm just like, this is wild. Like literally overnight, it was like, now we family, as opposed to, oh, this is this person that I met once.
So how has your education at the Los Angeles Film School and Identity School of Acting influenced your craft?
Focusing on the fundamentals. I think a lot of people try to skip over that. It's kind of like in school when you go and you're like, I don't want to do addition no more. I don't want to do the division no more. And then you get to all the quadratic equations and stuff, and you're like, maybe I should have did that. But yeah. But it's like that, just the fundamentals, learning how behind the scenes stuff works, how behind the camera stuff works, so that when I'm in front of the camera, I can have a better understanding of the flow
of how things flow.
Exactly.
So, for one of your early gigs, like people don't really get an opportunity this big, like as one of their first kind of entry roles in. You know what I'm saying? So I guess my question is, what is some advice to aspiring actors that are trying to break through? Like, what would you tell them? Give them 3 things they need to be doing.
Okay, first of all, don't follow my footsteps. Go get your headshots done. That's the very first thing. I would say headshots, take classes, continue taking classes. I'm nonstop. I still haven't stopped taking classes. I've been to all types of improv and stuff that I don't even really do. It's not my specialty necessarily, but it's those tools to have in your bag. I've taken comedy classes. I'm not a comedian, but if a role pops up, I want to be able to do it. So yeah, just continue learning, get your headshots done, and learn how to sell yourself. Your presentation and your first impression, it really does matter. It really does. So just learn how to sell yourself without being over cocky, yeah, don't be arrogant about it. Just be like, hey, this is what I do, but I'm here to learn.
Tell me about your brand Flourish. What made you want to start that, and what does it represent exactly?
Yeah, that's my abundance brand. That's kind of like the umbrella for all of my companies I have. It's it stands for what a man can be, he must be. And it's just like self-actualization. Like, you don't have to be stuck in this box. I've had so many people tell me, oh, you was in the military, or you do security, why do you do music? Or you do music, why do you act? And I'm like, because I can. Because I can do it all. So yeah, it's just really about abundance lifestyle and positivity and embracing life as it comes.
He was also on Beast Games,
man. Yeah.
Talk to us about that, because that was one of the biggest shows of Prime, I think, last year, 2024.
Yes.
One of the most streamed shows. And just watching it looked insane, bro.
It was. When you bring 2,000 strangers together, I would say 98% of everybody were strangers. There was a couple people that was like, oh, I've seen you before, but strangers. 2,000 people in we first did it in the Raider Stadium, the Allegiant Stadium, and yeah, it was crazy. We slept on the floor of the stadium. We were probably the only people, still probably the only people ever to sleep on the floor in a Raider Stadium. So yeah, but I will say that experience, I've gained so many new friends, new connections, new just partnerships out of it. It was definitely an amazing experience.
I guess would you consider that reality TV, or is that maybe more like game show competition? What would you qualify?
I think I would say it's reality. It is a competition show, but there were real bonds being built, real conversations. So I think I would say more reality TV.
What would you say was the best thing about being on Beast Games for you, and then the worst thing?
Whew. It's really the same answer for both the people I've met and the people I've met. There's two types of people. It's those who have consideration for others and those that don't. And so a lot of people that I've met did have consideration for others, but when you have, again, 2,000 people sleeping in the same area, there's a lot of different hygiene hygiene rituals that go on or that don't go on both sides. And there's a lot of attitudes, a lot of different ways people view life. And there was a lot of complaining from a lot of people. And being in the military, I'm like, this is great. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, we could be outside and it could be raining and we could have animals trying to come eat our food. Like, this is great. But yeah, I think that was the best and the worst thing.
So pretty much he housed you guys in the Allegiant Stadium?
At the beginning, yeah. So at the beginning, there was two parts to it. So the 2,000 needed to be dwindled down to 1,000. So we did, I want to say 6 challenges in the beginning in Vegas, and then we cut there, and then the next 1,000 went on to Toronto, Canada.
Yeah. So you had made it to that next 1,000 group,
yeah.
Right. What would you say from both sections was the hardest challenge you was in?
The hardest challenge was, I would say, the building blocks. So we were sitting on these pillars for hours, and if you stand or sit anywhere for hours, you get fidgety. Like anybody will. For if you're sitting there for 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever, you're like, I need to do something. But building those blocks for this challenge, it required a lot of steady hands and a lot of not moving for however long it took for other people to get eliminated. So yeah, that was the hardest part. And I'm big, so every movement was like monumental. Yeah.
How is Mr. Beast? Did you get to talk to him and have a one-on-one conversation with him at all? How is he off his YouTube camera?
He's the same person. He's amazing. Yeah, I can. Same high energy. He's very, very relatable, very personable. He made a point to come around and talk to all of us as much as he could. I mean, he is filming a show, but yeah. So he definitely made it a point to make sure he connected with everybody, and still does. I mean, his whole team checks up on us. When I was in LA. After the fires, his whole team checked up on everybody that lived in the area and was like, hey, are y'all good? Do y'all need anything? Do you need housing? All that stuff. So, yeah.
Wow. So he's genuinely giving back. Like really?
For sure. Yeah.
Wow. Let's talk about your music. What themes do you explore in your upcoming music releases, like West Coast and Human?
Ooh, okay. West Coast, I had to do something because Kendrick came out with all his music and a whole West Coast album, and I was like, got to get on that. So yeah, that was like just paying homage. My verses on there. I'm actually have a feature on there from Ashanti Major. She's a West Coast artist, and
shout out to Ashanti Major.
Shout out, yeah, she's doing her thing. But my verse on there is really just reminiscing about my time growing up. Like, we used to eat Kool-Aid covered gummy bears and chili cheese Fritos in the little plastic bag, and just stuff like that. Riding down the street and just seeing everybody on skateboards and stuff. Right, absolutely. And then Human, a lot of my songs, 99% of my songs are from real experiences. and human is about a relationship that I had that ended, and I didn't know it ended because I got blocked out of nowhere. So, uh, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I'm getting the green bubble when I when I send the messages. Calls going straight to voicemail. I'm like, go over there on Messenger and be like, oh yeah, Facebook user. What do you mean user? Thought I knew you. Okay.
What would you say you prefer, rapping or acting?
Uh,
Or
they
maybe music and acting.
they go hand in hand for me. Honestly, I've learned so much from acting and being in acting schools that I've translated to my music because I do a lot of sync music. So um, it's all about making somebody feel something in the moment that's happening on screen. So I think they kind of go hand in hand. Music was my first love and has always been my passion. So I'm gonna say music, but they do go hand in hand.
So how do you balance it all? You have your security. You got your security job. You be traveling around acting, be in a different series, YouTube, Hulu, whatever platform. And you make music too. How do you find time? And then I know you got to have your own personal life. You know what I mean? Your own personal stuff. How do you find time to do all this? Stay on top of your businesses, and again, take care of your mental health.
I make my calendar my boss. So literally anything I do is in my calendar. I don't care if I'm going to the gym, going to the store. I'm blocking everything in because if I don't stay organized, it's easy, especially when it comes to creative stuff, it's easy to get lost in it. It's easy for time to pass and you're like, oh man, it's 2:00 in the morning. What happened? But yeah, that's how I do it. And it's difficult. I can't even front. It is difficult to balance everything, but you kind of have to put everything in its own mode and stay strict on yourself as a creative. Because as a creative, you always want to keep going, but you have to be like, no, I set this 4 hours. All right, it's time for me to go take a break. Go sit in silence. Maybe I'm always listening to stuff, so let me go sit in silence and meditate and just see what life brings to me right now.
So I guess my last question would be, what advice would you give to aspiring artists transitioning from other careers, whether that be military, whether that be, I used to be a doctor.
Right.
I just want to be in the entertainment industry. Give some advice on how to break in. What should they do during this transitional period?
The first thing you do is learn your craft. People, I've met so many people, especially now. Now I'm in school again, going to another music school out here. But I met so many people that are like, oh yeah, I can do this and I can do that and I can do this, but don't know. Like they'll be like, oh yeah, I mix and master, but don't know what quantizing is, or don't know what, don't know how to read music or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, you're good at what you can do, what you know about, but there's so many other things that you don't know about that could help you progress. So yeah, learn your craft, learn the fundamentals, and keep practicing it.
I just want to say I appreciate you, Kijan, a lot for taking the time to sit with us today, being in the Star Studio, and then giving some advice and some gems too, man. I watched only one episode of The Family Biz. You know what I mean? I'm gonna finish it out.
Right.
I like that debut episode. You feel me? So I'm just proud of you, bro. You're doing amazing things.
Appreciate
Every
you.
time I see you in here, it's always with some type of big superstar or doing some type of big interview, bro. So I can't wait to bring you in again for your next role. Please tell everybody where we can keep up with you, follow you at.
All platforms at Kijan_CEO. That's KIJAN_CEO. Creating extraordinary opportunities. Hope y'all do the same.
And I'm your host, Toby. I'm rolling out. Hello. That was fire, buddy.
I appreciate